Today I'm going to talk about something we all use without even realizing it. Have you ever had an argument with a friend, a classmate, or someone in your family and later thought, this could have been avoided? I know I have, and that's exactly where my idea begins. In our daily lives, conflict is everywhere at home, at school, with friends, even online. And sometimes it all starts with something small, like a misunderstood message, a wrong word, or a reaction that was too fast. Emotions take control, and we switch from understanding to defending. But what if I told you there's a way to avoid many of these problems? And that skill is called diplomacy. When we hear the word diplomacy, we usually think about presidents, ambassadors, or countries. But diplomacy is not just for politicians. Diplomacy is a skill life. It's a everyday tool. It's something each of us can use. Diplomacy teaches us to stay calm, listen first, respond with respect, and think strategically. Because if we stay calm before a conflict, we have higher chances of avoiding it. An example: imagine this situation. A friend sends you a message that seems offensive, but before you answer to it, you go to him and ask, "Hey, what did you mean by this?" And that small pause, just a few seconds, it's enough for you to think about how you're gonna answer and to clarify the situation. Because most of the times when we have arguments, we assume things. We assume they wanted to hurt us. We assume they don't care. We assume they wanted to attack us. But diplomacy teaches us to replace assumptions with clarity, seeking clarity, staying calm, listening first, responding with respect, and thinking strategy. The power of clarification. Most of the arguments that we have in our daily lives is because something that we did really not understand. Sometimes they didn't mean to hurt us, and if we know what they actually meant, we can avoid many of the problems. Your choice, okay. And diplomacy teaches us that avoiding problems does not mean you're weak. Diplomacy teaches us that you can avoid your problems in a smarter way. You can face your problems in a smarter way. Instead of having a problem, you face in a smarter way so that it won't happen again, or you will avoid problems that you don't want possibly. Your choice. When you have argument, you can either make it bigger or make it better. And what do I mean by make it bigger? If you try to win the argument with against your friend, you're probably likely to hurt him or get hurt. But if you try to make it better, you're gonna try to avoid the argument so that none of you get hurt. And why does arguments most happen online? Because screams remove empathy, and that's the high reason why arguments happen online. When we are talking to someone on the screen, we don't see their struggles, we don't see their problems, and we don't see what they've been going through. So that's why I think diplomacy teaches us how to react with these problems. But we also learn to disagree with respect, because most of people think that disagreement is a bad thing, but it's not. Disagreement helps us to see new perspectives and also makes us healthier, makes us grow as persons. Embracing diplomacy. Always when you have an argument, if you listen before you speak, if you think before you react, if you prevent the problems, they won't likely happen. So instead of you having an argument, you try to avoid it. And we have to learn that in life, you always have a choice. You can either choose to win the argument or to avoid it. But diplomacy teaches us that a real victory is not winning an argument, but avoiding it. And that's diplomacy in everyday life for me. Thank you.